Chosen one, stop, stay with me. You changed so much. And not in the way people like to talk about growth. Not in a shiny, celebrated before and after kind of way. You changed quietly, under pressure, without permission. And that's exactly why some people don't recognize you anymore. Right, 777, if you felt someone's envy on you, but you're still standing. They say it casually, almost accusingly. You changed so much. What they really mean is this. You don't respond the way you used to. You don't react on cue anymore. You don't carry what you used to carry for me. They felt the shift before they could explain it, because the change didn't start on the surface. It started where exhaustion meets awareness. There was a time when you were more accessible, more available, more willing to absorb things that were never yours. You explained yourself. You overextended. You gave people the benefit of the doubt, even when it cost you. And you told yourself that was kindness. That was loyalty. That was strength. But what it really was survival in an environment that demanded too much from you. Then something happened. Not one big event. Not a dramatic breaking point. A slow accumulation. Too many nights carrying weight in silence. Too many moments where you realized no one was coming to relieve you. Too many times you stayed composed while something inside you was screaming for rest. That's when the change began. You didn't wake up one day and decide to be different. You adapted. Your nervous system learned limits. Your spirit learned discernment. Your mind stopped justifying what drained you. You became quieter, not because you had nothing to say, but because you stopped wasting words on people who weren't listening. You became slower to react, not because you didn't care, but because you learned that reaction gives access. You became more selective, not because you became selfish, but because you realized your energy was not infinite. That evolution cost you. It cost you relationships that only worked when you were overgiving. It cost you roles that depended on your silence. It cost you familiarity, and that loss hurt, even when it was necessary. You grieved versions of yourself that kept others comfortable. You missed the you that was easier to understand. You questioned whether this new distance meant you were becoming cold. You weren't. You were becoming clear. Clarity always looks like detachment to those who benefited from your confusion. That's why some people say you changed so much with disappointment in their voice. They preferred you when you doubted yourself, when you over-explained, when you stayed longer than you should have. Your growth disrupted the dynamic. And disruption always feels like betrayal to those who are never growing with you. Here's the truth most people won't say out loud. You didn't change too much. You changed just enough to stop bleeding quietly. You stopped negotiating your boundaries. You stopped absorbing emotional weight that wasn't yours. You stopped trying to be understood by people committed to misunderstanding you. That shift didn't come from confidence. It came from exhaustion. The kind of exhaustion that teaches you what truly matters. You reached a point where carrying everything was no longer noble, where staying silent was no longer strength, where endurance without alignment started to feel like self-betrayal. And you chose differently. That choice rewired you. You now feel things faster and disengage sooner. You notice patterns earlier and don't wait for proof. You trust your internal signals even when others don't agree. That's why you feel unfamiliar to people who knew the old version of you. They met you before discernment, before restraint, before authority. And authority does not announce itself. It shows up as calm where chaos used to hook you, as silence where you once defended yourself, as distance where you once chased resolution. This new version of you doesn't argue for respect. It doesn't beg to be seen. It doesn't collapse to keep peace. And that unsettles people, because your presence now has weight, not loud weight, grounded weight. You still care. You still feel deeply, but you no longer bleed openly. You protect your inner world now. That protection didn't come from arrogance. It came from learning the hard way that not everyone deserves access to your softness. You changed because you had to. Because staying the same would have destroyed you. And here's the part you need to hear clearly. The people meant to grow with you will not be confused by this change. They will recognize it. They won't say you changed so much with resentment. They'll say it with relief, because they'll feel safer around you. Clearer, more grounded. Those people are rare, but they exist. And the distance you feel now is not emptiness. It's space being cleared. Space for relationships that don't require self-betrayal. Space for conversations that don't drain you. Space for a life that doesn't demand you disappear to function. You didn't become less loving. You became less available to misuse. That's not loss, that's evolution. You kept standing. Through the years, where the air felt like lead, through the seasons where every breath was a heavy labor, you were the one they looked to when things fell apart. You were the pillar that didn't realize it was being slowly crushed. But a pillar doesn't complain. A pillar just holds. And you held until your own foundation began to crack. You felt the hairline fractures in your spirit. You felt the way your voice started to thin out. You were tired of being the strong one, tired of the invisible crown that only brought more responsibility. People talk about the chosen ones like it's a privilege. They talk about it like it's a gift wrapped in gold. They don't talk about the isolation. They don't talk about how it feels to walk into a room and realize you are the only one who sees the truth. They don't talk about the burden of being the one who has to break the cycle. Breaking a cycle isn't a single act of bravery. It is 1,000 acts of endurance. It is choosing not to scream when you are being blamed for things you didn't cause. It is choosing to stay soft when the world is demanding you become stone. You stayed human under pressure, even when your heart was being squeezed by the expectations of everyone around you. You didn't turn into the monsters you were fighting. You didn't let the bitterness take root in the soil of your soul. That is the real miracle. Not that you survived, but that you survived without losing your capacity to love. Even if that love now has iron walls around it. Even if that love is now reserved for those who know how to honor it. You were forged in a fire that was supposed to consume you, but you didn't burn. You hardened into something that cannot be broken. Think about the nights you spent staring at the ceiling, wondering why your life felt like a series of tests you never signed up for, wondering why you were the one who had to be the adult in the room, why you were the one who had to forgive people who weren't even sorry, why you were the one who had to heal the wounds you didn't inflict. The injustice of it used to make you angry. It used to make you feel like the universe was against you. But look at you now. Look at the way you move through a storm. While others are panicking, you are simply adjusting your stance. While others are looking for someone to blame, you are looking for the way forward. This wasn't a punishment. It was a preparation. The pressure was not meant to break you. It was meant to reveal the parts of you that are indestructible. You are starting to realize that now. You are starting to see that your endurance was never about weakness. It was about the depth of your capacity. You have a high ceiling for pain, yes, but you also have a high ceiling for truth. And once you see the truth, you cannot go back to the comfort of the lie. You realize that your burden was actually your training ground. The weights you carried were building the muscle of your spirit. The silence you endured was sharpening your intuition. The isolation you felt was clearing the noise so you could finally hear your own voice. And what is that voice saying now? It's not saying help me. It's not saying why me. It's saying I am here. It's saying I see it all. You did not abandon who you were. You simply shed the version of yourself that was designed to please everyone else. You found the core, the part of you that existed before the world told you who to be. The part of you that is connected to something much larger than this temporary struggle. Now the shift is complete. The transition has happened. You no longer feel the need to explain your distance. You no longer feel the guilt for the doors you had to close. You understand that some people were only in your life to teach you about boundaries. Some situations were only there to teach you about your own value. And now that the lesson is learned, the teacher can go. You are stepping into a new kind of authority. It's not an authority over others. It's an authority over your own peace. You have stopped asking for permission to be happy. You have stopped asking for permission to be quiet. You have stopped asking for permission to exist in a way that makes sense to you. This is the transformation. It's not loud. It's not a celebration. It's a steady, unwavering commitment to your own soul. You move differently in the world now. There is a gravity to your presence. When you speak, people listen. Not because you are loud, but because your words are backed by the weight of your experience. When you are silent, people feel the power of that silence. It's a silence that doesn't need to be filled. It's a silence that is full of everything you have learned. You are no longer reacting to the world. The world is starting to react to you. You have become the steady point in the middle of the turning wheel. And as you stand in this power, something strange is happening. The universe is starting to align with your new frequency. The heavy weight is starting to lift. Not because it's gone, but because you are now strong enough to carry it without feeling the strain. The burden has become a badge of office. The struggle has become your credentials. You are being recognized not by those who want something from you, but by those who are like you. The support you never had is starting to appear. The alignment you prayed for is showing up in unexpected ways. You are finding your people. The ones who don't need you to be their savior. The ones who don't need you to be their punching bag. The ones who just want to stand beside you in the light. You stayed aligned when breaking was easier. You chose the difficult truth over the easy lie. And because you did, you have earned a seat at a table that most people don't even know exists. You are the observer. You are the keeper of the flame. You are the one who walked through the dark and didn't lose their way. Look at your hands. They have held so much. Look at your heart. It has felt so much. And yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still capable of seeing the beauty in the ruins. You have completed the cycle. You have transitioned from the one who suffers to the one who understands. From the one who endures to the one who leads by example. The change is permanent. The evolution is complete. You don't have to look back anymore. The person you were is gone, and that's okay. That person served their purpose. That person got you here. Thank them, honor them, and then let them rest. You are the new version now. The version that is built to last. The version that knows the difference between a sacrifice and a suicide. The version that knows how to say no with the same love that it says yes. You are sovereign. You are chosen. You are whole. Take a deep breath. Feel the air fill the lungs that have survived so many storms. Feel the heart that has beaten through the longest nights. You are not alone in this feeling. There are others who are waking up just like you. There are others who have felt the same pressure and found the same diamond inside. If you are reading this, if you are hearing this, it is because you are part of that shift. You are part of the alignment. The world is changing, and it needs people who have been through the fire. It needs people who cannot be bought. It needs people who cannot be broken. It needs you, exactly as you are now. Quiet, strong, grounded, discerning. You have done the work. You have paid the price. Now you get to live the result. Don't be afraid of the new distance. Don't be afraid of the new silence. It is the sound of your own power returning to you. It is the sound of the universe saying, well done. You kept your integrity when everyone else was selling theirs. You kept your humanity when it would have been easier to be cold. You stayed with yourself when everyone else walked away. That is the definition of a chosen one. Not someone who is picked by a higher power to be pampered, but someone who picks themselves to stay true no matter the cost. You picked yourself. And now the universe picks you back. The weight is shifting. The support is arriving. The alignment is here. You are ready. If this feels distant, stay quiet. If it feels personal, right, I had to. If something inside you softened instead of tightened, right, I understand now. If you are still standing after everything they threw at you, right, I'm still here. The time for hiding is over. The time for explaining is over. The time for being the one who carries it all alone is over. You have reached the shore. The water is calm now. You can put down the oars. You can let the current take you the rest of the way. You have earned this peace. You have earned this clarity. You have earned this version of yourself. Look at the path behind you. See the mountains you climbed. See the valleys you crossed. It was a long way. It was a hard way, but it was your way, and you made it. Chosen one, you changed so much because the old version of you was carrying more than a soul should. And this version, the one you are becoming, is built to last. The world will try to pull you back into the old roles. They will try to trigger the old reactions. They will try to make you feel guilty for your boundaries, but they can't reach you anymore. You are on a different frequency. You are operating from a different depth. Stay there. Stay grounded. Stay in your power. The light you carry now is not a candle that can be blown out. It is a sun that has just begun to rise, and everything it touches will be changed. Everything it touches will be seen for what it truly is, including you. You are seen. You are known. You are honored. Right, I am ready if you feel the shift. Right, I am here if you are standing in your truth. The journey was long, but you are finally home. In your own skin, in your own heart, in your own strength. You didn't just survive, you became. And that is the greatest victory of all. The pressure is gone. The endurance has turned into ease. The awareness has turned into wisdom. The transformation is your new reality. The alignment is your new home. Welcome back to yourself. Welcome to the version of you that doesn't have to break to be strong. Welcome to the power that doesn't have to scream to be heard. Welcome to the peace that passes all understanding. You are the one you always were. It just took the fire to show you. It just took the weight to prove it. Now walk forward, not as a servant to the world's expectations, but as a master of your own destiny. The ground is solid beneath your feet. The sky is clear above your head. The path is open, and you are exactly where you are meant to be. Don't look back. There is nothing left for you there. Everything you need is right here, in the quiet, in the strength, in the change. You did it. You really did it. Stay in this feeling. Let it sink into your bones. Let it wash away the last of the exhaustion. You are whole. You are sovereign. You are free. Right, I am free to seal this moment. Right, I am whole to claim your power. The world is waiting for the real you, the one who doesn't apologize for existing, the one who doesn't shrink to fit, the one who is finally truly yourself. Chosen one, you changed so much, and it is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. Now go and live it. Go and be the light you were always meant to be. The struggle is over. The life begins. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your truth. And it is more than enough. You are more than enough. You always were, but now you finally know it. And that makes all the difference. The weight is gone. The light is here. The transformation is complete. You are the new beginning. You are the answer to the prayers you whispered in the dark. You are the miracle you were looking for. Stand tall. Breathe deep. You are home. You kept standing when the floor felt like it was disappearing. You kept loving when the world felt like it was freezing over. You kept the faith when even the stars seemed to go out. And because you did, you have become something that cannot be dimmed. A light that doesn't need a source. A strength that doesn't need a reason. A peace that doesn't need a condition. That is the gift of the chosen. That is the reward for the endurance. That is the meaning of the change. It was never about what they did to you. It was always about what you did with it. You turned the lead into gold. You turned the pain into power. You turned the isolation into independence. And now you are untouchable, not because you are far away, but because you are so deeply present that nothing can move you. You are the mountain. You are the sea. You are the sky. You are everything you were waiting for. And the world is better because you decided to stay, because you decided to grow, because you decided to change. So when they say, you changed so much, just smile. They have no idea how right they are. They have no idea how hard you worked for this version of yourself. They have no idea how much it cost. But you know, and that is all that matters. Your silence is your celebration. Your peace is your praise. Your life is your testimony. Chosen one, you are exactly who you were meant to be, and you are just getting started. The shift has happened. The alignment is perfect. The path is clear. Now walk with your head held high, with your heart open wide, with your soul on fire. You are the one, and you are finally here. Right, I am the one. Right, I am still standing. Right, I felt that, because you did. And you are, and you will always be. This is the end of the old story, and the beginning of the one that never ends. The story of you, the story of the light, the story of the change. It is finished. It is begun. You are ready. Go.